Hi everyone, we have an announcement. We have a free upcoming webinar on
31st of May at 2 p.m. Yes, we have a link for you to subscribe. We've shared it on our social media platforms, but we'll keep on sharing it until 29th. We'll share it. So please book your space.
Yes.
It's free, so there's no payment. Book your space. We are going to be discussing relationships. We will give audience some time to ask questions in case you have any.
Yeah, Q&A is important.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll also have that Q&A. The tickets are on Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just place your order.
Yes, and
See you there.
see you there.
Yeah.
Come in numbers, please.
Kwaheri.
Welcome back to Conversation Corner. It's the one and only
Emphasize.
one and only Derek.
Okay.
And
the co-host or the host Nemo. Yes, and today Nemo has a cold.
When I tell you to stop eating ice cream, you don't listen.
It's not ice cream, Derek. Let me tell you. You know, kids rogota.
They pick everything out there and they bring it back to you.
They bring home. So, I'm sorry, guys. Today, I have a deep voice kidogo like a man, but we are soldiering on.
Yeah, she's challenging me.
Biz.
Now I have to talk like this, you know.
Surely. Okay. Yes. So we tell our viewers what the topic is for today.
Yes. Today we are going to discuss the importance of family background in relationships. Yes. And it is very, very important to know
who
the
you're
family
dealing
background
with.
of your spouse.
Yes.
Else, you come to regret later.
Yes. I agree. 100%, Derek.
Yes.
In fact, 200%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Now, one reason as to why family background is important is because when you meet the family of your, the person you want to be with, it helps you understand their values, their morals, and who they really are as a people. Because, Derek, different families have different morals.
Yes.
Yeah. Or different values.
Yeah.
And which values are important to you. Maybe the values I have are not important to the values you have, or in your family. So they are different. They vary. Okay. And normally at least try and find something or someone that is close to, the values that you have. So to avoid a lot of conflict.
Yes. Now, let us start on this topic. I'll give you the first point that I have. The cultural and societal context plays an important role in the relationship and the family, actually. I'll give you a good example how the family background shaped by cultural and even societal factors influences the integral part of a child's upbringing.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And that will influence the identity of that person. As they grow up, that is who they will be because of how they were brought up by their family. And that family was influenced by the cultural background of the society. Yes.
And that's true. I feel like it really blends very well with the topic we had on values, beliefs, and what do you think?
Cultural
And culture. Yeah.
differences.
Yes.
Yes, actually, it does.
So if you haven't watched that particular episode, just go ahead and watch it, and at least you'll understand some of the things we are trying to bring about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You see, in many parts of Africa, maybe even Asia and Middle East, and the family alignment of values or traditions between families can be central to the relationship. It is not just about two individuals coming together, but it is about the integration of two families, each with its own history, its own culture, yes, customs, and even expectations. Now them coming together to form a new unit. But you see the cultural background of both families now come together to integrate. But you see now, if you have different cultural
Culture.
backgrounds, it will also affect the relationship that you have.
Yeah, it will.
Yes. You were giving me an example of your friend of a friend.
Yeah, that friend, my friend of a friend. Let me tell the viewers.
Yes.
My friend's friend. So, I don't know, friend A and B. So friend B, when she was getting married. Imagine you're at a wedding with your groom or with your person, and in a few weeks' time, your groom is about to be a father of another lady, of another what mistress, of a mistress,
A baby mama.
a baby mama,
That is the correct term to use.
of a baby mama. And the weird thing is that the entire groom family, they knew about it. And you, the bride, and your family
They have no idea.
have no clue. None whatsoever, Derek, none.
That is a family united.
That is
They are family united in secrecy.
and lies.
And lies.
Yeah. You can imagine the damage that happened to this lady after she found out.
So basically, that family believes in polygamy.
Yes, they do. They didn't see it as a big deal. Yet, this other side, they were, what just happened? We don't encourage this.
It can be actually a total surprise, a total shock.
Oh, it was. It was. It took them by in fact, at some point, she left the husband and went back home. And you know, Kenyans, when you leave, your people bring you back together and
Yes.
sit you down.
Yes.
So they had that sitting. Do you know they could not meet eye to eye? Why? Because the groom side, they're saying, no, you bring her back. What's the issue? What's the issue? What's the issue, guys?
It's an issue to
It's
them.
an issue. And the bride side is, it's an issue. Your boy is all over the place. But, I mean, so at the end, they didn't even resolve the problem.
You know, it becomes very difficult if I believe in polygamy and my partner does not believe in polygamy.
But you see, those are the values you were given, and I was given different values.
Yes.
Different beliefs. Yeah.
And, cultural background, very different. Yes.
So, up to date, I know it's a big, big issue. But now what can they do? What can she do?
So that is why we are saying it is important to know the family background of your spouse. Yes.
And I think the best thing is when you're being introduced to the family, you know, sometimes you go there with fear.
Yeah.
Will they accept me? Am I behaving in the right way? Have I worn the right clothes? Stop that. I think the best thing when you go there, you're also vetting that family.
You remember when we said dating is important? where the dating phase is where you get to know your spouse and everything about them. So these are some of the things that you need to find out. Their cultural background, their family backgrounds, what they believe in. If polygamy is one of the things you need to know. If you do not believe in polygamy, you need to be aware before you start a serious relationship with somebody and then come to regret later.
That's actually very true.
Yes.
So find out who or what kind of family are you dealing with. Yeah. Because
Yes.
I've also seen a scenario where my friend, the family of the man decided, okay, this one, it's not a must we see her.
Why?
Because we were clashing on some things. She had gone to report my husband is cheating. It was an issue. You are just kelele tu. Can you keep quiet? There's a lot of noise. You can imagine. To you, it's a serious
It's a
thing.
serious thing, yes.
Yeah. Then the other party is keep away.
So you bring us something serious.
Yeah, bring us something very serious.
This is nothing.
Eh,
Anyway, let us proceed.
yeah.
Another aspect is shared values and upbringing. A person upbringing often influences their core values, how they view the world, how they treat others, how they approach conflict, and most importantly, how they manage their finances. Yes, you can imagine being in a relationship with somebody who has grown up seeing their parents spend lavishly on things, and they get to a certain point where they're used to that lifestyle. Even when they start their own life, they will struggle to maintain that lifestyle, even if they are not able to maintain it financially. And it will always leave them in debt. Yes.
That's very true. And what I'd like to add
Yes.
on family is, I mean, if you know you can afford a lavish lifestyle, teach your children also how to invest and save.
Yes.
Mostly investing.
So that they can also
Repeat that.
afford that lifestyle easily without struggling. Yes. On that shared values and upbringing, issues like communication, problem solving, very, very important.
Especially problem solving.
Yes. You get people do not know how to solve problems in their relationships. If the problem arises, they sweep it under the rug.
Oh, yes.
And another one arises, they sweep it under the rug.
Oh, yes.
And before you know it, there's nowhere to step because everything is under the rug.
Well, I did not expect. Well, Derek, I did not expect that. Hey, that's a good quote.
Yeah, very true.
But it's very true.
Because you can imagine there's dirt in the house, you're always
Sure.
sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah.
Before you know it, the rug will be raised because there's too much dirt under there. You have nowhere to step now.
It's very true. And to add on that point, it's the same thing. Again, Derek, I'm very passionate about also upbringing of children.
Yeah.
What he means is, you have a child and they're crying over something. Instead of telling them, teaching them how to communicate and tell them maybe, I can't, maybe they're crying over, something, maybe they underwent in school. Maybe they were being bullied. Yeah. Instead of telling them when a bully comes, you deal like this, you're told, keep quiet. That's not a big thing. You sweep already, you've swept those emotions and feelings under the rug. And this child doesn't know how to deal with that. That's the kind of upbringing you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So in future now, this person, when they become big, they don't even know how to deal with conflict.
They become timid.
they become timid or excessively abusive.
Yes.
You've heard of those people who say, when I get rich, no one will tell me what to do. Yeah, that's
Yes.
because now when they get rich, they start abusing other people who don't have.
Because now they feel they have the power.
Yeah.
When they grew up, they did not have the power.
Yes. Yeah. So that's upbringing. Also, let me also bring genetics into
Yes.
this one.
Okay. Continue. I know where you're heading with this, but continue.
Yes. Derek, me, let me tell you, I love science. When I was in high school, people used to call me a geek. I never used to like that name.
The geek.
Yeah. Why? Because to me, a geek is somebody who has very big specs.
You watch too many movies.
You see, they have big specs with big eyes, eh? So, yeah, it was too many movies, but that's how I interpreted the term geek. Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't like it. And also being on the computer too much.
Yes.
But I think now, thinking about it, I think I am. Because I
You
like a
still are?
lot of science, documentaries and whatnot. Now, genetics. Let me just simplify it. Do you remember when you were young, we were being told, I will find out if that family has a history of madness.
Yes.
You don't bring us madness. You remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a play of genes, whereby, if there's one person who is mad in the family, people on your side are fearing that you will bring that genes
Into the family.
And
you will now perpetuate them to the next generation.
yes. Yeah. You're either a carrier or a person who has it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So genetics genetics even goes very, very deep in terms of even trauma. Because if I have not resolved my traumas, I can pass it down to my children.
And the children will pass it down to their children.
Yeah.
And so forth and so forth.
Yes.
But it's not just about the trauma, even diseases.
Yes.
Those hereditary diseases, yes, they can be passed from one person to the next one.
Yes.
Even baldness. And this is one thing men are afraid of.
By the way, you're not joking there.
Yeah.
I learned that a lot of men are very scared on going bald. Why?
Yes. I don't know. I am very comfortable with
So you
who I
just
am.
either shave and clean shave looks very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, but those are people's insecurities, and they come from a very deep place.
Yes. When some of these things are hereditary, and there is nothing much you can do about it unless you have a lot of money to go and do hair transplant surgery.
Why would I? Okay. That's an issue. But maybe to a different person.
People, people approach these things differently. Yes. And that is why if you see, you might find somebody who has inherited that baldness will try and find a spouse who has a full full and thick hairy head, so that they do not perpetuate that baldness to their children.
Well, do you know? I don't know if I deviate or not.
Please do.
When I gave birth to my children, none of them had hair until they were 3 years old. And my family will look at this kid. Where is the hair? What is this? Because my family, especially my dad's family, I'm telling you, even my hair is not soft. Theirs is really like the older generation. They have that very soft, roundy hair. So I remember my dad asking me, hey, where is the hair of this child? And he told me, I have never seen a child without hair. This is very serious. Have you taken her to hospital? And the other side, I was told, this one alipata nywele after 5 years. Relax, it's coming. So you can imagine, yeah, that's genes, eh?
Yes, yes. And another point that we can look at is the influence on family on personality.
Yeah.
The way a person's family raised them can have a lasting effect on their personality. That is behavior and decision making. For example, if I grew up in a family where there is open communication, I will bring that into my relationship such that if there's any problems, if there's any conflicts, I can be able to communicate it with my spouse and we'll be able to find a solution. But if you find somebody who was brought up in a family where the communication was stifled, they'll bring that in the family also because they do not know how to address the problems that they have and they will not be able to communicate it with their spouse. And
In fact, let me tell you something. A question I tell people to ask during dating. In fact, the first day you go for that coffee is ask that person, how do you deal with conflict? Do you think you should ask it day 1 or day 2? Me, I think day 1. Shoot it. It's vetting after all.
I think that is a question for day 3.
Day 3?
Yes.
Shoot it day 1.
Day 1.
You remember, Derek, when I told you some people keep conflicts even for 1 month?
Yeah.
Because they do not know how to handle the conflict. Yeah, I feel like that's a very huge thing to know. And it's true. I've seen families where they are not able to deal with conflict. They sweep everything again, the way you've said. The rug is so full because we don't know how to deal with this conflict.
Yes.
We put it and it piles. Then when the carpet...
You have nowhere to step.
Yeah. And you step and then the dust go... Pew.
It explodes everywhere.
It explodes everywhere. That's when you're like, where and yeah, we need to do this. But you see, that's too late. Huh? So yeah, know how they deal with conflict.
Have you ever seen a person whose family holds quite an authority in their lives?
Let me try and understand that. Do you mean where, like a mama's boy?
Not really a mama's boy. Where the family, for not just the mamas, both
No,
parents.
I'm just giving an example.
Yes, but that is
because
a
that's
good
the
example.
one the society knows a lot.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
That is actually a good example.
Okay.
You can imagine where in a case where the approval or disapproval of a partner's family can influence a relationship.
Oh yes, this happens a lot.
Yes. And you find that you are in a relationship with somebody who listens to their parents absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
My parents say yes, it is yes. If
It
they
is
say
yes,
no,
yeah.
it is no.
And
And
you know
you're
that's
in
a big red flag.
Yeah, and you're in a relationship with such a person.
That's a run. Why are you laughing? Should they run or should they stay?
I believe they should run. Because you
And
can,
why are you looking at me like this?
it's there you're saying. You can imagine you're in a relationship with somebody, you cannot do anything together.
Yeah.
You cannot invest, you cannot grow yourselves until they get the go ahead from their parents.
Run. How do you even give a solution for that? Personally, I don't have run.
They
Ama we make the blow softer. Maybe you can tell them to go for therapy so that they detach themselves from the family because that one run.
That is why we are saying independence in family is also important. Where somebody is raised to be independent. Yes.
It's very, very important.
Yeah.
But run.
Very fast.
Recommend, put a therapy card on the table and run. But then some of the things you say sometimes can be jokes, but I feel some things you should take very serious.
Yeah, such a relationship, it leads to difficult situations where you are caught in between your spouse's needs and also your parents.
Something I've heard psychologists saying, when you date such a person, please remember you're not dating that person. You're dating that person plus the family.
The family.
So you're dating a group of people. That's why I'm saying run.
Okay.
Again, we've said this again so many times in a podcast, Derek. Our relationship is a partnership.
Yes.
So who are you partnering with? You're partnering with a person and their nuclear. You can imagine if they have 7 sisters and 7 brothers.
You're partnering with the now.
It becomes even difficult. But even if they are not many, just the mother, even if they are one child, the mother, father, and you can imagine those two always, you can't even buy a chair in your own house.
Until they get a go-ahead from the family. That can be a very difficult relationship.
It is very difficult.
Oh, wow.
And
there are people who are like that out here.
Oh, yes. That's why I'm saying mama's boy, because we all understand. I think it's a stereotype. I don't know why they say mama's boy. There's even daddy's boy, daddy's girl, daddy's boy. I don't know.
Yeah, mostly it is mama's boy and daddy's girl. Yes. Because the boys tend to listen to their mothers more. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the girls listen to their fathers
more.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have any other points to add on that?
Personally, no. But I would highly, because again, I feel like this could be personal. Just get to know people's traumas, the family traumas, before you get in.
Yes.
Because it will determine a lot. A lot. You see that scenario you said where this person gets in the family and they control. So you can imagine if the family wants him to be something and you can see he's this person, they are going to force, because maybe of traumas they did not resolve.
Yes.
And values that they've not kept as themselves. So yeah, I would say work on that a lot of times. Yeah, people used to, I think when we were young, we used to make a joke. I don't want to become like my mother or father. She does 1, 2, 3 and I don't like it. Then you grow up to realize you're a photocopy or a replica of that particular person you did not want to become.
Yes. And you see, like we were saying, cultural backgrounds and family backgrounds, they will affect most of the relationships, from part of the millennials to the Gen X and bloomers. Yes. But as time goes by, from what we are currently seeing, the Gen Zs are setting a different trend, where they are setting their own terms of doing things. They are not. They do not want to be influenced by those cultural differences. Yes.
And that's true.
Yes, and family background is just one part of a complex part of relationships.
Oh yes, I like how you put the name complex.
Yeah. And its significance depends on how it impacts the dynamics between the two partners. Yes.
Aki Derek, I think it does. I really believe it does.
Yes, and that is why we always say when you go into a relationship, it is a partnership. How you communicate and agree to deal with those differences will make or break that relationship. Yes.
I agree. And don't be afraid to walk away. It is sad. I'm saying don't be afraid to walk away if it's not too late.
If the relationship is not working for your own peace of mind, for your own safety, yes.
And we should talk, in future, we should talk about abuse, the different types of abuse.
Yeah, abuse is not just physical, there's also emotional abuse.
Which I hear psychologists saying it's even worse than,
Physical abuse.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a question for our viewers?
For our viewers on the importance of family background. No, today I don't
Today
think
you
I have a
don't.
question. Today, I don't think I have a
Maybe we
question.
can urge them. I think maybe we can urge our viewers
Yes.
to know the family backgrounds of these people.
Yes.
If you've been dating for 6 months now,
You should know the
at
family.
least you should know. Maybe you've been introduced to the siblings, the brother or sister. Who are they? You're not introduced. I don't feel like you're introduced to all of them at once.
No.
Yeah, you introduce one. Normally, you start with the siblings, isn't it?
Yes.
Before you can escalate to the
To
parents.
the parents,
Yeah.
yes.
So get to know the the siblings.
Actually, you start with the friends, and then the brothers and sisters, yes, and then the parents, and then eventually the extended
The
family.
entire, yeah.
Yes.
So get to know them. Make sure you have, and be very vigilant about it. Very vigilant without putting, okay, I know emotions will be involved already by that time. By the time you're meeting the parents and entire family, but you ask yourself, is it really worth me staying or me going? Like I've given the example of that lady who knew later during her marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe people are even asking, hii ka marriage kanaisha sangapi, we go see
We go see the baby.
we go see the baby. Hey, don't get to that point of no return.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't find yourself at that point. Do all the due diligence.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on this episode. And we hope that you will subscribe, you will like, you will comment,
Follow
and
and
share. If you have any questions, please ask them. We are here. We will answer them. And if we do not know how to answer them, we will find somebody who can answer those questions for you. Yes.
So feel free to comment.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We are also planning on having a webinar.
Yeah, we can even do a Q&A session in the webinar where you just get to ask us some questions and see how we can respond.
Yes.
Yeah.